everybody. Justin Stivers, owner of the Probate Law Firm. Part 3 of our 5-part series talking about what people should ask their attorney, their probate attorney, when they're thinking about hiring one, and maybe some questions they should ask that maybe aren't on their mind right away. And this one actually people think about, but they end up doing maybe something they shouldn't in the very beginning, and so I wanted to take a couple of minutes and talk about what happens to a person's debts when they pass away. So very often someone at the end of their life, they might be in the hospital, they might have been sick for a little while, or they might have just had outstanding medical bills, and now that they've passed away, their insurance might not cover everything, Medicare, Medicaid might not cover everything, and so they might have unpaid medical bills that need to get paid. Or they might have credit cards bills, right? So if it wasn't on automatic payment, and they have, a Visa bill, an American Express bill, and they normally, pay those at the end of the month, well, they passed away, so they're probably not going to, they're not going to get paid. Happens all the time, very common. And what happens is we'll call those creditors. So hospitals and credit card companies, they turn that over to their collections team, or maybe they have it internally, and they'll start calling, and they'll find the heirs. They'll find who the children are. Maybe they'll find the spouse, and they'll figure out their name, or they'll get their address or contact information, and they'll start calling you, and they're ruthless about it, unfortunately. And what I see all the time, or what I see common, is that the spouse, if he or she is still alive, or the children, they receive this bill, and sometimes, if they're not able to pay, they're not worried about it, but sometimes if they are able to pay, they think they have to, and so they start writing checks, or start paying off all these bills, and then they come to me and they say, hey, listen, we already paid all of that, and I'm just like, man, that's, good for you that you did it, but you didn't have to, because what happens is, those creditors, there's kind of a process here in Florida where they have to notify me, or the attorney handling the probate, that they're owed X amount of dollars. And then they have to prove that, right? Because sometimes these are not real charges. And even if they are real charges, there's a process that they have to go through. And so if someone dies and they don't have any money, the children, the spouse, they don't have to come out of pocket to pay them. They're not personally responsible. So, hopefully, if you're watching this, or, at some point, if someone passes away, you just need to know that you are not personally responsible for paying those person's debts, for paying the creditors. Now, the exception to that, right, is that if you're on the bank account, or if you're on the credit card company as a joint owner, then yeah, they could come after you because that's your account. And the other thing is, as a practical matter, if there's a piece of real estate involved, if you're able to, it may make sense to keep paying the mortgage, to keep paying the taxes, to keep paying the association dues if there are any. But that's a conversation we probably have during our strategy session. But just know that before you speak with the attorney, or before you start shopping around looking for an attorney, or hire an attorney, or once you do hire an attorney, ask that question. Say, I'm getting these bills, do I need to pay them? Because chances are you don't. So hope you guys found that useful. If you have any questions, leave comments below. Thank you guys. Have a good one.